and I will call this meeting of the Capital Improvement Planning Committee to order. The first item on the agenda is the election of a chair. Is there a nomination for chair? Don't all jump at once.
I can do it again unless
All right.
Bill or Francois want to jump in.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to nominate Charles Reed as the chair.
All right, there's been a nomination. Is there a second?
I did second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We
All
don't
right.
need to say this verbally. Francois Steiger, aye.
Congratulations, Mr. Chair. The meeting is yours.
Thank you. So you have on topic discussion, membership discussion.
Yeah. Do any of you know two people that want to be on the Capital Improvement Planning Committee?
I've been trying to get people, but it's, as you well know, it's not easy, even though the commitment is not as much as other committees, but
Yeah. All right, I'll send out a nice email blast between now and the next meeting.
I thought I saw Seth Knight's name on an email related to this.
So I had forgot that that he was not on this, because as the finance chair, the liaison from the finance committee is Chuck, and Seth had named him that and everything, and then when I was going through, I forgot that fact, so I CC'd Seth on here.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so he actually can't. There's very limited things that a member of the finance committee can do. It's actually kind of annoying at times, because some of our better volunteers at times are finance committee members. And then Pete, I forget his last name, but he was on the finance committee and wanted to, because of interest, serve as an associate member of the planning board, had to leave the finance committee when that was giving up a good member of the finance committee
Yeah.
for a associate membership on something else. Like, I am under the belief that someone should maybe be able to do an associate membership and their finance committee membership, because it doesn't seem to be an issue, but the town charter seems to think otherwise. All
So
right.
quick question,
Yes, sir.
Nate, are there other committees that we have or other boards that we have that also are are required to have a membership in this,
Tomorrow is National
in the capital improvements, CIPC?
Nope.
As an associate member?
No, it's a
So,
representative.
We used to have a selectman.
well, that's why I'm asking, and that we no longer have them?
I was under the impression that I read the charter, that it was a planning board representative, a finance committee representative, and 3 representatives at large.
Gotcha, okay.
Because six
that was my understanding too.
is an even number, and,
Okay.
and even numbered committees trend towards controversy.
Oh, no, I
Right.
understand.
So now you have on committee's goals and timeline, which you already outlined your proposed timeline to us.
Yep.
So we'll meet next Monday and then a couple Mondays after that.
Yeah, I think the only Monday we skip is Veterans Day.
Yep.
And then, because I'm planning on, there's not a lot of money to spend, and we've kind of committed a good amount of it within the last couple of years, so I'm not anticipating that this will be a very heavy lift.
Yep.
Uh,
Is that timing okay with you, Bill and Francois?
I'll do my best.
So I want to ask next, go ahead, Bill.
Well, I just have night meetings that sometimes pop up. They don't frequently happen on a Monday, but they could.
And
Okay.
we can move whatever, as long as it works for you guys. I can make pretty much anything work. So if one of the meetings needs to be moved and it works for everybody, that's no problem for me.
Yep, because we all need
So
to
just
be,
you have starting next week, you have you have meetings again, but those seem to be earlier, right?
I thought I put them at the same time. You might be,
But did I-
Francois, you may be confusing them with your structural deficit working group meetings.
Probably am.
Which
Okay,
I-
so
which
I
I-
have back-to-back meetings then.
Yeah, and I did that on purpose for you.
I see. Thank you.
Felt like it was easier than having you come in twice.
Alright, all set, Sarah.
All
Some of
right.
these I'll have to do virtually anyway.
Yeah, and then, so after our initial review this evening, hopefully by tomorrow, I'll send you guys out the whole drive. I'm still putting together some things. And after that, if you could review by the end of the week and just let me know if you think anybody should attend your next meeting. So as we review these, just think of that. Like, if you have questions, I can answer a majority of them, and I had the departments fill out a painstaking amount of paperwork this year. So we will see if there are any questions. A lot of these are returning, and so let's get it going, because if we can finish this up by 6, I can make it to the gym at 6:30.
And so you want us to review it by the end of the week and let you know who we think needs to come in next Monday,
Yep.
okay?
All right, these projects are in no specific order other than being requested. There are 2 items not on here, and the items that we consider pitch items, the capital improvement items submitted by the community, are not on here either. I will bring those to you as a package. I don't think that we're going to be able to implement any of them right away, because they are swimming pool, dog park, library elevator. So they're relatively large scale projects. My goal is, within the first 5 years of this pitch capital improvement community input program, to eventually fund one of them. If you have any questions about anything, please speak up. I cannot see you right now, so please speak with your voice if you have any questions. The first item is a legislative management software for the clerk's office. Implementation of legislative management software to streamline agenda creation, meeting management, public relations access, and appointment scheduling, ensuring compliance, transparency, and efficiency in government operations. $15,000, high, recommended for this year. The Brigham Street conceptual design. $28,000. Development of conceptual design for Brigham Street to address roadway width, drainage, pedestrian safety, aligning with Complete Streets guidelines to improve safety and accessibility for all users. Annual grant planning, $5,000. Engagement of Capital Strategic Solutions for ongoing grant writing, management, and reporting services to maximize the town's access to state and federal grants, supporting capital improvements and infrastructure needs. As a preemptive fact to that, I should let you know that I have recently been approved to utilize $1,800 in ARPA funds to create a town grant prioritization plan and work with the company Capital Strategic Solutions on itemizing and prioritizing ways we could get to funding as much of the 48 Gardner Road project as possible. So that's where this comes from, a pre-existing relationship with this company. They are on call and contracted to the town with no annual charges other than that of hours billed at a rate of $180 an hour. Any questions on that?
No,
Main Street lighting, infrastructure, I have it at $70,000. Installation of energy efficient dark sky compliant LED lighting along Main Street to improve safety and enhance aesthetics, with potential for solar power options. Chief's Cruiser replacement, Police Department. Please note this is less than last year because it is a Blazer instead of a Tahoe. Replacement of the aging 2016 Chevy Impala for police chief due to significant water leaks and mold issue leading to costly equipment damage and maintenance concerns. This has also been placed on the special town meeting warrant for funding, so this may not even make it to the capital improvement plan. Any questions?
Nope.
Hubbardson Center School emergency generator. Installation of a backup generator at Hubbardson Center School to ensure continuity of school operations during power outage, enhancing emergency preparedness. The town does not have a full boat emergency operations center at this moment because the generator does not run enough of the school to be considered to that level. If we had a new generator, which we are applying for grants, I had Judy request this on here just so it's on the plan. You'll notice once I begin to outline my thought process here, a lot of the items on this agenda or on this table are simply here so that they can be considered part of our planning. And we can apply. Go ahead.
Is this generator a requirement?
There is a generator on there right now that is the requirement. If we were to be able to find a grant to fund this, this would be an upgrade to meet the compliance needs of an emergency operations center, aka running the whole school. Because right now the generator, when it's down, runs the emergency lights and refrigeration units.
It doesn't run the heat?
So it would,
And the heat pumps.
Okay.
Nate, would this be a replacement of the existing generator, or would this be an add-on generator so as to bring this into the full
This would be a replacement
compliance to?
This would be a
It would be a
replacement of
replacement.
the current generator.
You're talking over one
And
another.
I'm sorry?
This would be a replacement.
Okay. The next question I have here is are there any additional electrical items that have to be considered as a result of this here? My understanding is that when you add a full power generator, there may be a requirement to also do some upgrades to panels and other things like that. Has that been factored in here?
It has not. This is not something I'm going to recommend funding of in the capital improvement plan proper. What I had done this year is asked departments and boards to submit things that they are interested in getting grants for as well, so that we can then turn around and when applying for grants, point to the fact that it is on our capital improvement plan, then showing that the town is planning towards these things and not just willy-nilly applying for grants. Upon moving further with this, we would look into the electric and requirements to get it actually set up. Right now, I've treated this as if it was just a purchase of a generator. The grant to install it would likely be higher than this due to the need of electrical compliance and padding and that kind of stuff.
Okay. So as far as the rating high, is that who it was the people who submitted it, the board that submitted it?
Yep.
Okay.
This is all their opinion. So I
Okay.
think everything's probably everything is labeled high.
Yeah.
Zoning rewrite / e-codification, planning and zoning. The complete rewrite and digitalization of the town's zoning codes to improve accessibility, efficiency, and alignment with future development goals. This is a legal review and e-codification. As Bill and Francois can likely tell you, the town's bylaws are riddled with issues. It is a legal nightmare, which a legal review will allow us to then seek technical assistance grants to fix different points, but at least then we will know what's going on and be able to prioritize. Additionally, the fact that employees and differing employees at all times are just able to make changes to the Word document that we are taking as the stone cold governing document of community development in the town of Hubbardston is a little bit scary because of how many hands have been in the town clerk's office recently, the changing of the planning board, the changing of the zoning clerks, land use clerk. So I think having a legal review and being able to digitally e-codify will be a huge win for the community. Any questions?
Nope.
Oh. attached
Number
to the
8.
one out, we sent it to-
I will present to you guys in total. I've been calling it the Civic Optimization Implementation.
Hey, Nate,
Yes.
we lost Francois.
Yep.
All right.
He's there.
There he is.
Number 8 is the civic optimization. This would be a website upgrade and a change to a what's called Civic Optimize in order to utilize it for forms, apps, workflows, constituent services. I'm internally calling this Hub Connect. It's a way that I've been working with the Collins Center through a year-long grant aimed at finding ways to increase efficiency and technology to decrease the amount of training hours and the burden that turnover has on the community. This, if implemented correctly, has a potential to utilize already existing tools that we have no annual impact, and in turn save hundreds of, if not thousands of dollars annually in staff time and everything across the board. I will present on this at an upcoming meeting. It's a project that I could talk about all night. I think it's a great opportunity for the community. I am presenting it at the special town meeting on the 19th in hopes to get going with this. There's a large opportunity that we pay for this up front, and then the tech grant that opens in January will reimburse the town for its purchase. But I need to act on this now because some of the moving parts of this are December 1st contract kind of end dates. Our current website and our OpenGov platform, which we use very poorly to do permitting, both expire on December 1st. That
Oh,
opens up that, it's an aggressive plan, but if this works, it will not only work here, but other rural communities will be able to utilize this. The way I'm seeing this is by utilizing my own knowledge and staff knowledge of an optimized solution, we can create programming such as a C-click fix component, a legislative management application, workflows for internal use, and a constituent services management application without having to go out and buy them in a out-of-the-box plug-and-play version, saving tens of thousands of dollars in implementation costs and in actual software costs. But that's something I will present to town meeting and to you guys. This is just an initial review, but that's what that is.
Do you know other towns or municipalities that have done this?
Not to float my own boat, but the people that I have been working on this continue to point to that other towns don't have such a forward-thinking administrator to even think about potentially taking on a project like this. And there are other communities, and you quickly get too big. We're kind of in that sweet spot where we have enough to do good work, but we're also small enough with a development queue that's small enough to do unique and progressive things.
Okay,
But it'll be in, it's a 150-page document. I'll put it in your folder. But without the Collins Center, we wouldn't have gotten anywhere on that. There's a whole report on it. Public Wi-Fi hotspot. This is something I put in there for grant utilization. It would be a public Wi-Fi hotspot at the Curtis Rec Field. Engine 2 replacement. That's been a heavy hitter on here for a while. It is something that is needed. I expected it to be here.
the price dropped.
Yeah. Well, if we can fit it in a garage. Breathing apparatus replacements. Last year we began the implementation of a $20,000 annual program to fund the $100,000 over 4 years instead of having it hit as once. Flood mitigation improvement / culvert replacement program would be $105,000 over 4 years, spaced out strategically. Patrol cruiser replacement, a $60,000 purchase next year. We are not in a cruiser year. Walking track replacements has returned this year, $50,000. Go ahead.
Have they applied for funding? Because they bring it up. They brought it up last year. Have they applied for grants?
There is a new chair, and I have had that conversation with her about how the Capital Improvement Planning Committee wants to see the Parks and Rec Commission do some research and apply for grants prior to funding any part of this. And she knows. So I'm hoping to be able to work with her to do that.
Okay.
CRM kiosk system for OpenGov. That would not end up being a CRM kiosk system for OpenGov. It would be a CRS kiosk system for our town-wide organizational forms and constituent management software system, should both be implemented. Public meeting room / AV system TV upgrades. Technology AV system, $25,000 FY29. This will likely end up aligning more with the new building than it would over here, but I wanted to make sure that was on there. The FY29 police cruiser replacement, obviously that is every 2 years. Town-owned land development feasibility study. I put this at high for $25,000. Feasibility study to assess potential uses of town-owned land for housing, commercial, or municipal purposes, evaluating infrastructure, zoning, and market demands to inform strategic land development decisions. And then I put in $75,000 for flagpole replacement, holiday tree installation, and enhanced focal point for the town center. It would be for across the way. Right now we have the largest flagpole. It's very large, and we spend a lot of money putting new flags on it every 2 years. There is not a focal point, sort of a setup at all over there, so this is something I would love to see us be able to do, to utilize our beautiful town center as more of a centralized location for civic and special events and less of a cemetery. And then the other two requests that I did not end up putting on here were the $100,000 annually for road replacement, which will be in your folder, and the library has put their interest in a elevator on here. That is simply placed on there when I told them that I wanted grant ideas placed on here as well. And that is the amount we have for this evening. Any questions?
This will be interesting.
And how much do we have to spend?
$300,000.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a little more, but that's okay.
But let's remember that I am taking a swing at a few of these at special
Right.
town meeting. And Travis isn't gonna love it, and I hope he's not watching this. I am going to propose potentially leasing a, what do you call it, one of those bushwhackers to you guys, I believe, because the lease over 7 years, we would end up paying about $25,000 more than the cost, but we wouldn't have to pay upfront for a tool that would utilize our entire capital plan. So I'm digging into that right now, so anticipate some out-of-the-box thinking this year.
So you're talking about the mower he uses for the sides of the road?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And
Nate, the
so,
spreadsheet that you used,
right.
sorry,
No, sorry, I
the
didn't
spreadsheet
hear
you
you.
just showed us, is that
Everything
the
will be,
spreadsheet that you just showed? Go ahead, where is it?
everything
Where can I
will
find
be,
it?
everything will be emailed to you by tomorrow.
He hasn't sent it out
Okay,
yet.
will you, all right, will you be able to create a folder for us where we can kind of like, similar to what we have like for the structural deficit
Yep.
working group?
That's the intent. I just went to do it today,
Okay.
and there was a lot more documents than I had previously envisioned.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions about this process or anything like that?
Travis doesn't have anything else.
I will have to check. I believe there's two. I believe there's a dump truck that's 2
Oh.
years out and the mower.
Okay. I figured there had to be
Yep.
more than just the road.
Yeah. Yeah. I will send you all. That's all I had for this evening. I appreciate you guys. And Mr.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions, any concerns? Nope, hearing none. Yes, we have a motion to close.
So move.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Chuck says aye.
Murray, aye.
Have a good night, everyone.
You're right.
Thanks, Nate.
Good night.